Howdy y'all and welcome to Lex Lives. I think it's time we play a little Minecraft. So, I am in need of a ton of iron, and I, of course, have zero time. So we're going to do some mining today. Well, a bit of caving. I don't really like to mine, necessarily. But I do enjoy the occasional bout of caving. And so that is my big plan for today. Oh, right after I get face to face with the zombie. I need to turn the volume up a little bit. This is too quiet. I turned it down because one of the things I watch is very quiet. I don't understand why their volume is so quiet. And so I've got all the things that I play while I'm watching it turned way low on sound lately, because their volume is just terrible. Like, volume cranked to full. Like, can't turn the volume up anymore to be able to hear it at a normal volume. And it's only the one show. I don't understand why it's the one show. Like, come on, guys, set your volume louder. But yeah, so it's today for me, of course, is a Sunday. And as has been my episodes for the past while, today is when I talk about... I thought that was something, but it was just a weird artifact. I talk about our family session at D&D, which I quite enjoy most of the time. Still a huge issue of so many bathroom breaks and snack breaks and stuff, but the smallest one was actually, I mean, she doesn't play, but she was pretty well behaved today for the first time, I think, since we started playing. Ooh, there's some stuff I want right there. I saw it. Where did it go? Dang it, I started building this path over here. I swear I saw some iron. Did I hallucinate it? Oh, crap. Alright, and then I want to get up here. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Some more iron. That's all I'm here for is iron. I need a lot. I need, let me think about how much I need. 8, 16, 32, yeah, I need like 240 some iron for my current plans. And I've got 32. That's right. I've gotten 32 so far. Man, I need a doubling system. I guess I could build a... Well, you know, I already built a trap. It just doesn't gain any iron armor ever. I don't know what's up with that. Oof. Ooh, there's some right there. Yeah, we went pretty good today. Maybe not as fast as I was expecting. Some of the issue in speed is I get an idea in my head of what we're gonna do for the day because I don't really plan it out ahead of time. And so I basically create an area, and but I don't map anything out, and then I print off a list of creatures and their stats that might live in said area, and then and that's about it. I did do some, I kind of cheaty, but I use an online map generator for some of it, and I pre-generated some of the maps. We didn't use any of those pre-generated ones today, but I just I don't want to put in the effort to fully map something out that I'm afraid they're gonna flake out on at any moment. And so yeah, right, that's where I just came from, and then I built this path over here, and then I went up here, and then that ended in a dead end, and then I went down there, and that was all lava. So right, I wish to go back. Crap, I wish to fall down and hurt myself a little bit more. No, I wish to go this way. And so you know, I guess a quick rundown of what they've been doing. They were hired to remove the undead threat to a ruined city because it is spreading out of the city, and they would like the threat ended. And so they have headed to the ruined city, and they met a vampire who isn't a bad guy per se. I mean, he's a vampire, but you know, it's not bad guy, just a vampire. And I don't remember if I went down here. Doesn't look like I made it into this section. Oh yeah, I did, because right there's some stone that I put in. So yeah. Oh, but look, right here's some iron just waiting for me. There's also a big squishy down there. I might need to go check him out, see what he's doing. Yeah, so he gave him some information, and it turns out he's the last, I don't know if he's the last, but he is currently the claimant to the family seat as the original. Oh yeah, no, this is totally in my strip mine. Stop wasting your... I hate strip mining, so I've done some, but I hated it. That looks dangerous. You think this will lead me some way to get out of here? Looks like it just led me to a spot where I ran out of torches. I went mining in the dark, it looks like. Nobody likes mining in the dark. Which must be why I quit. No iron here. How much did I wind up with anyways? 48. That's a far cry from what I need. Man, do I hate mining. They first went out to what has happened, and they now know what has happened is 450 years prior, the vampire has been gone for close to, I forget what I said, like 500, 600 years, something like that. They don't know that part. He was taken by a vampire, not by choice, and it's taken him this long to basically gain control over himself, his powers, free himself from his quote master, and so he has returned to his family home to find that it has been completely destroyed. There's very little tiny section of the city left. The city used to be like, 50, 60,000 people, which is a lot for a medieval city. And now it's down to just a handful of buildings. And so he is currently trying to figure out how to remove the the wizard because the wizard has anti-vampire stuff in place, as much as he now has anti-wizard stuff in place. And so he needs something to break the stalemate, and I don't think he's the one who sent out the call, but he definitely has taken advantage of the fact that there are adventurers who are nearby and capable of potentially removing this threat. And so he doesn't interfere with their mission to wipe out the undead, as long as they don't come after him, which I don't think at this point they're going to do. And so he has been working with them. And so he also has been giving them information to help them. And one piece of that information was that they could stop the mechanical armors that defend the city from operating, which would make it easier on them because the wizard currently controls the mechanical armors, and so that's what they did the last couple weeks. Yeah, see, I don't get any armor in my setup. Do they not drop armor anymore? I mean, no, I know they drop armor, but why does my tower here not get armor? Do they just not drop armor if it's not taken off by a user? Like, I'd really like it if my tower would collect armor, because then I could be melting down loose iron armor, right? But I've never seen a piece of armor in this setup. Five ink sacs. I think that's a little more than what I had before. I think I had 3. That's a terrible, terrible farm. It does not work well. This one, on the other hand, works great for pumpkins. Could work better for sugar canes. The problem with sugar canes is they don't, oh. That's not right. Hey, that's not right. Why is that not, where's my axe? I don't have an axe. Why is that not kicking back up there? My thing is broken. Dang it. How did that happen? Well, that's not going to be helpful. Seriously, why is this piston extended? Weird. It just got hung there. That's all there is to it. It got stuck. You know, I was hearing a lot of zombies. I think that might be a problem. No, I don't hear them. Where are you at? I hear a lot. I've got to find this cave and get rid of it. I can't have... Yep. You guys are destroying the ability of my farmer. And I found a whole new cave system to explore. Yeah, you're slowing down the efficiency of my farms. Go away. Bloop. I'll take this iron, though. All one chunk of it. And so the last couple weeks they've been taking out the automated armors, and so this week I told them they were going to go to the academy. Last week, I didn't tell them they were going to the academy. The vampire suggested that be their next target, as the wizard has been reinforcing his armies with experiments that he has done there, and so they thought it'd be a good idea to head there. And so, in the process of heading there, they had to fight some of a clan of wereboars, which are like werewolves but pig people. Have agreed to work with the wizard. Not recently. I assume several generations of wereboar ago at this point. If wereboars can have a generation. I'm going to say yes. It's my world, so you know what. Changing the whatever the text says is how they work to whatever I want. That's what I do anyways. Yeah, so sure, you can get turned into a wereboar, but they also can have were-children. It's fine. And oh yeah, I keep forgetting. I don't have a shield. There's a lot of cave down here that did not get lit up. I'm kind of surprised at how much cave is just down here. So they headed out to take care of that little issue today. Ow. I gotta go back and get this iron, man. You want to come fight me down here? That's fine, but I gotta get this iron. And so they didn't fight too many fights today, but they did. They fought one group in the streets. Oh man, this was funny to me. I've got this thing in my world where there are small pockets of forest that are protected by super powerful fae who basically are like their caretakers, and fae are like fairies. And so they there's one near the city where they operate out of, and that's where the druid goes that's on their team to learn her new abilities as she goes and meditates in the Fae Grove. Okay, I think I got sticks on me, but I do not have any coal. So let's go back through here and see if I can find some coal. And so they right. So they go into this place, and there's there's a lot of fairies and stuff like that flying around, and which is really weird because they're in the middle of this horrible broken city, and so it should be weird that there's a spot of oof. Yeah, okay, I can't do that one. I guess I could do this here, though. And so Oh yeah, and I totally got enough to do what I wanted to do. So nice. Ooh, no, I want that back. I want that back. Yeah. Let's get rid of this. And so they get in there and they hear laughter in the trees. The trees are all wintered. It's they're still pretty close to winter, so nothing in this little park has started growing yet for the year. But it's alive. It's overgrown. It's very very. This park hasn't been touched in 400 years, give or take, and so. So they get going in there, and they hear the laughter of the fairies, and they see things swimming in the pond that's in the center of this park. It's a fairly large park, and there's bridges that cross over, and a lot of the laughter they're hearing is coming from the fountain that's at the center of the pond that you reach by crossing one of 4 bridges. And so they decide to cross the bridges because the druid ran a check and could sense that the trees were alive, and she could sense the power of nature. So this wasn't, she knew it wasn't evil necessarily. Not any more evil than Fae are, because Fae aren't human and they don't think like humans, and they're dangerous. They're just dangerous. But they're not necessarily evil, just human or humanoid, I guess in this case. Life doesn't matter that much to them, more than just being playthings. And so these guardians of these little pockets of the Feywild are very powerful, way more powerful than anything they could handle, maybe ever at this point. Depends on how long we play, I guess. I might let them, possibly fight one, but way in the future, because we're talking, ancient dragon level power, or more even. And so one of the things that happens with these guys is they don't have a form. They take on a form randomly. And so every time they go talk to the one near their city, it's different. And so I've got a little six I forget what they are, but there's 6 things on the list. And so every time they go see Herukja, the one near the city that they come out of, I roll a 6-sided dice to see what kind of thing he's going to be. And so I rolled a die today, and animal is what came up on the dice roll for me. And so I'm like, okay, so in the middle of a park, it's in the city, he's going to be a squirrel. And so while they're standing there looking in the pond at the things swimming in the pond, which are fairy creatures, they decided to, I kind of just want to leave right here. They weren't sure what they were going to do, and so they're looking around and decide, what are the chances that I am heading a direction that's going to get me back to my base? I feel like I've already traveled too far. Nope, right there's my base. By base, I mean my burgeoning city. Yeah, this amount of city here is about all that's left of their ruined city. So the squirrel comes up and it sits down in front of them in the middle of the bench directly in front of the ruins. and or I'm sorry, the bridge in front of the bridge. There's like a park bench. Everything inside the park is still in good condition because nothing from outside the park is allowed to harm the park. The park belongs to the Fey Guardian, and because the park itself is a gateway to the Feywild. They have not entered through one of the Fey gates yet. They don't know they exist. I haven't told them, but I have told them that the power of the Feywild is greater in these areas, and so they. Oh, good, you didn't. You didn't get hung up again. I was worried. And so they go to talk to this squirrel. Now, they've come in through the park. They've walked through the park. They came to the pond. The pond is fairly large. They walked across the great arcing bridge that is half magic because they're near the academy. Because the city used to be the center for research and learning. And that's all gone now, thanks to this wizard. And so they oh, good, it went off. I can go check to make sure it didn't break. And so they oh, good, it didn't break. And so they're standing there trying to figure out what to do, and my nephew, who is 7, 6, 7, 6, 5? I don't know how old he is. Let's say 6. Maybe. I don't know. I don't pay attention, man. I just don't pay attention to that kind of stuff. And so they his parents and I are there, and our characters are trying to figure out what to do. My character doesn't really come up with ideas, like I said before. Just mostly points out where they have forgotten some information or something along those lines that they've been told. I make sure he only knows what he's been told, so he can't give them extra information that they're not aware of, but he can help them realize that we've gone in the wrong direction, kind of thing. And this is why I need so much iron, because I need iron on the bottom and iron on the top, as well as... Oh, really? And you need to go away. And so oh yeah, this might be helpful. Whoops. I need one more on that. There we go. And then this all needs to go away. And so alright, you know what, you're just stone, whatever. I'm just gonna dig you out of there. And so they get going, and they're standing before this squirrel, who's actually the Fey Guardian, and they're like, "So we want to talk to him?" And my nephew's like, "I'm gonna pull out my tonfa and attack." And they're like, "No, wait, we need to." And I'm like, "No, he attacks. Roll for attack," and he rolls for attack, and I don't know what he rolled. It didn't matter. I wasn't going to let him attack this guy anyways. Are you kidding? This guy is like deity level stuff. You'd have blown him out of the water. Technically that's not what happened. Technically, he blew him into the water. And so, oh, dang it. That's one too many right there. So he gets just thrown all the way back into the pond from where they're at, and he falls out of his chair onto the floor, and he is not happy with what happened, and And but too bad for him. And so he shouldn't have attacked. I forgot what the guy's name was again. Um, Andercleef. That was his name, Andercleef. And so Andercleef just threw him all the way across the pond with magic. Didn't bat an eye, didn't blink, he didn't get close. And so he lands in the middle of the pond, and Andercleef then speaks. He hadn't spoken up to that point, and told them that how dare they attack him in his forest, because that's what they call it, forest. It's not really a forest, but that's what these guys call it. How dare they attack him in his own forest, and that they are banished from the forest for seven days. And so now they get no information off of him, and on top of that, they're getting pretty close to leveling up. And I make them talk to an expert to level up, and while the rest of the characters wouldn't have been able to do it, Andercleef could have allowed the druid to level up. And so now they're not going to get the bonus of a leveled up druid while they're working their way through here. All because somebody had to attack the squirrel. And I thought that was funny. And then they made it to the academy, because that was the major plan for the day. Took them long enough to get there. And they're like, well, you want to quit now, or you want to push on? I'm like, I felt like we could at least get through the first couple rooms, maybe. And they're like, all right. So they go inside, and on one side is, as they're walking up, I'll try to hurry this along here so we can get this episode over, but as they're walking along, the academy, unlike the rest of the place, is in perfect condition. Not only is the whole thing just completely pristine, but it also it's also currently maintained by magic servants. And so the walls are the only walls they've seen that are still in perfect repair. The whole thing, a lot of the city is run off of a special mix of mechanics and magic that don't exist anywhere, because the wizard, who's all about magic, destroyed the city as, I don't know, maybe an abomination. We haven't got to that point yet. They haven't actually got to talk to the wizard. They've only seen him now one time. And so as they're walking along, the walls of the academy have the symbol for the city in the middle of the walls, which the wizard was not able to destroy. Otherwise he probably would have, since he removed all the other symbols. And around the symbols is this green crystal that's basically used to operate this hybrid magical mechanical setup. And so every time they look through the wall through this green crystal, they see another scene of what it used to be like in the city. And so, like, one scene shows the academy while the students are there, and one scene shows the city during a winter festival, and one scene shows the entire city from, up above, from a distance, and that kind of thing. And so they're walking along through this city that used to be amazing and great, and it's just been absolutely destroyed by this crazy wizard. And so when they get inside, the grounds are beautiful. And there's two outbuildings, the stables, and then a gardening shed. I called it a yard. Yard? yard shed. I think I called it a yard shed. And so when they went to check that out, that had some of the werebores in it because they tried to turn the yards into a sty, and they couldn't because the unseen servants that basically repair and clean the place kept cleaning up their sties that were in the yards. And so if they do them inside the buildings, the unseen servants assume that that's what the people, the users intended, not attended, and so allows them to remain. But then they had a huge fight in the yard shed against a pack that were sleeping in there. And then, because they're disgusting creatures. I mean, if you've ever seen a pig in its a pen, just imagine that, but as a horrible person, and that's a werebore. And so they're covered in filth. They're sleeping in their own filth. It's disgusting. All right, that is what I'm doing with the bridge right there. I've got to get enough iron, but I want these blocks at the top and bottom, and I've measured everything out now so that it all fits, and I can do my concrete pillar here that I wanted to do. I'm not sure I can get that like that. And I've measured out both sides are now even, like I was trying to do. And I think it should look pretty good once I get enough of the iron. I like the edges on the iron block. I think that make it look better, but that's going to be what we look like once we get there. As you can see, the one side was correct. The other side got off somehow, and so I've corrected all of that. But yeah, I things look great. Hopefully, I can get enough time to finish this, and it'll be awesome. And then they, real quick, they went into the stables on the other side once they finished with the yard shed, and they fought some more werebores that were in there, and but then they also fought their first flesh golem, which is going to be a major bad guy because this wizard has been basically trying to experiment by attempting to bring things to life. And so I'm going to, now that they're entering the academy, I'm going to have it filled with things that he has tried to piece together and bring to life. So probably some manticores, chimera, but definitely some more golems, different types, some more animated armors, things like that, which I think should be fun. But that will be for next week. So click like, subscribe, sure, and catch the next one. And I will talk to you later.